Iniciando transmisión. Ahora en Twitter. Think I'm already transmitting. Create transmission. Okay, let's tweet. Hello, everyone. I am on stream. Link on YouTube. YouTube link, because I read chat there. You can reply here if you want, though. Lol. Okay. So, hello to the single person who is here. What's up? I was tweeting, and today I have some things written that I want to do, and then after that I will go with the advice. Hello, Hanio. Today I wanted to watch a video. I wanted to watch this video. I wanted to start with this because I didn't think that people would join so quickly. But I want to watch this. It's a 5-minute long video. It's Invader V speech. And for this I have to, I think, put myself... Is it my dream? I think I have to do this, and then I can do this, like this.
Dr. Jerky, 420. Ban the comments you can't handle. Keep it Disney. Wait, Dr. Jerky, didn't you come in earlier?
I find this clip
a trolling comment. What I love about Twitch is that I just get to be myself. I do get to be myself. I get to be a very, very different part of myself. It's really interesting when people come into chat and they accuse me of being fake. I don't disagree with you. I don't know who my authentic self is on stream.
The text
Every
is
single
here.
day that I come on here, I discover new things about myself that I'm willing to share with you, and new things about myself that feel important to share with you.
My goal is to learn this.
And I love sharing them with you, you guys. I really, really do. I surprise myself and I surprise you. I had another streamer recently say that I surprise them as well. And discovering that I have the ability to surprise even old pros at this game really, really makes me feel like I am where I'm supposed to be. Wishlist Destroyer, you're not fake. You're just crazy. Yes, of course I'm crazy. I'm crazy in love. I'm crazy happy. I am crazy high on life. I really, really like being where I am. I like the people that I'm with. And I have felt this way for my entire life. When it was in high school, when it was in elementary school, when it was in university, when it was in college, when I worked at summer camp, when I worked at the hot dog factory, when I worked at the bikini store, when I worked at Disney Princess. When I am on Twitch, I find people that I love. I find people that I like, and I keep them close to me. The people who come back each and every day are the people that I want to see each and every day. And the haters can come every day if they want to, and I'll be happy to see you too, because at least you're showing me that I'm important to you with consistency. And if I can be nothing else, it is consistent, because I will come back each and every day, and I will give you new reasons to hate me, and I will give you new reasons to love me, because that's what you deserve, and that's what I deserve. I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can do on this platform. I want to see how far the blanket fort can expand. I want to understand the best parts of myself. And I'm not saying that I'm going to find them on Twitch, but I think that I can find the best parts of myself if I keep going and keep saying yes. And I discover the parts inside of me that I've been too afraid, too ashamed of, too apologetic. Do you realize how many times I want to send a boy a picture of my fully exposed vulva? And the first instinct is first to apologize for even messaging him in the first place. I want to say, I'm sorry that I'm bothering you. I'm sorry that I'm messing you. I'm sorry that I'm texting you. I'm sorry that I'm DMing you. I'm sorry that I'm trying to... I'm sorry that I'm caring about you. I'm sorry that I'm trying to figure out who you are, because all I want to do is open up enough dialogue so that I can expose everything about myself. The only thing that I want to do is expose who I truly am to you. But I feel subconscious because people tell me that I'm fake, and people tell me that I'm faking these things, and that I'm psychotic, that I'm ADHD, that I'm on drugs, that I'm all these terrible things that I'm not. What is actually happening is that I love being here. I love being on Twitch. This has been a dream of mine for so many years that I'm embarrassed to talk about it. Can you imagine meeting a boy that you want to fuck, and the first words out of your mouth are, all I want to do is be a famous Twitch streamer? He's never heard of Twitch. He just wants to put his dick in you, and you're talking about Twitch. Guess what, motherfucker? Sometimes it works out. I fucked that motherfucker, and he bought me this great big toy because I became a famous Twitch streamer. That motherfucker believed in my dream, even though he had never heard of Twitch before. And each and every one of you believes in my dream. Because we're on Twitch together today. And I believe that we can go even further, even higher, even more into the blanket fort. And I think that we can do it together. And I don't know that I can't do it by myself. I can literally only do it with each and every one of you. And I think that we can. This channel has grown bigger and faster and more intense than any other channel on Twitch has ever before. The clips are good. Make sure the titles are sexy. Make sure that you do me good, guys, because I come in here every single day covered in glitter, covered in sequins, covered in booty shorts, covered in nylons, so that I do not violate the terms of service, so that each and every one of you can have both hands on the keyboard, so that you can enjoy the stream, so that you can have a good time listening to me, playing with me, singing with me, smiling with me, enjoying your life, which you do deserve to enjoy. Each and every moment of your life you enjoy, and each and every moment of your life is worthy. You guys, you can do it. You can be the best that you can be, and we can do it together. It's going to take effort. It's going to take patience. It's going to take a lot of work. But if we don't try, then what the fuck is stopping us from just throwing ourselves off a bridge and giving up and saying, yeah, the planet is dying. The government hates us. The animals are leaving. The aliens aren't contacting us. We might be alone. It might just be you and me. But it's okay. Because do you really need anyone else? That's it. I think this is going to be my start for the stream from now on. Do you really need anyone else? Okay, that's over. Invader V clip over. Now, QC bookmark. I'm going to look at Twitter because I had a tweet bookmarked that I wanted to talk about today. I think it's somewhat related to everything here. Because I might be reading the advice, continuing reading the advice that I was reading yesterday. So, okay. So I had this tweet bookmarked yesterday. Twitter slightly encourages you to write down to an audience less sophisticated than yourself. For bell curve reasons, this is the best way to maximize size of audience, but it misses out on the possibility of writing for and attracting peers and mentors. To attract peers and mentors, you need to be writing stuff that is at your personal edge. Half-baked stuff you barely understand. Conspiracy theories, house in the night, written down is for stuff you've finished digesting and are done with. Valuable, but too much is limiting. And I thought this applied to my presence on YouTube and streaming in general, right? Because I don't want
to talk down at people. I don't want to make, right? I am here reading advice with you, right? I am reading advice with you. I'm not giving you advice. What the fuck do I have to give advice for? I'm here to read advice. I'm here to investigate at the frontier of the, like, I'm here to find peers. I'm here to find mentors as well, right? Sorry, if any of one of you knows more, fuck it, tell me, right? Tell me about it. I want to know. I want to be talking about stuff that is at my edge, right? The good thing about being a loser is that almost everything is at your edge. So I guess that's how I feel regarding the world, right? Everything is at my edge, kind of. But that's what I want to do, right? That's why I'm reading random advice from people who have written it, because that is my place in the world right now. And forgive me for checking notifications, but sometimes I want to check notifications on like the tweet, because just like I have chat here on the YouTube stream, I am also simultaneously streaming on Twitter. So yeah, I sometimes refresh my notifications just in case someone is kind of using Twitter as chat. But yeah, that's the purpose why I do it. And then next thing I wanted to do. Complaining about 100 videos. Tweet about 1 year out, feeling the same, zero embodied learning. Okay, this was something I was thinking yesterday when I was kind of in bed, well, not in bed, but yeah, kind of before bed at night. I'm always more sad at night. So I wanted to talk about a tweet that I taught yesterday. Yeah, this thing. This is the tweet of 1 year out, right? I tweeted this a year ago. The context is this one. It's a video that I made, by the way, called, I think, Too Far Into the Future, from a year ago. And yeah, basically it was about my kind of romantic feelings and all of this, right? And in that context, there is a sentence here that I think I still suffer from, right? Thinking in this, like, she uses a beautiful sentence, which was something like picturing the 1000th morning waking up together or something. And she uses that in a beautiful way. Wait, she's talking about how she realized she was a lesbian or something. And it was through thinking like that. But instead of me thinking it in positive ways, I think of that negatively, right? I think of that kind of 1000th morning. I think about the 1000th morning without thinking of or having gone through like 999 previous ones, right? And I assume this 1000th morning has some mornings before, right? I assume. It's like an actual person she shared something with. And in my case, I think of it like too early, I would say. That's why I titled the video, I think, Too Far Into the Future. Because it's something that I do, right? And the thing that I realized yesterday was that I still am like this, right? 1 year later. So it's basically like a whole fucking year has passed. And yeah, I've done stuff, whatever, but it definitely does not feel like a year of having grown in that sense. I still feel like, yeah, that's still me, right? I could have tweeted this yesterday, even though stuff has happened or whatever, right? That was something I wanted to mention, right? Yeah, I have here written something like, tweet about 1 year out, feeling the same, zero embodied learning, zero awareness of it, zero growth, equally abyssal. I'm going to get to the abyssal part, but yeah, in the zero embodied learning, right? It's like at least, yeah, this is what I mean, right? Awareness as a first step, seems dumb as hell if there's never a second step. Right? Because people sometimes talk about, I don't know, these kind of topics like self-awareness is the first step or something like this, right? And I'm like, why the fuck? What the fuck is the first step for if the second step never comes? That's stupid as hell, right? And yeah, I feel sad about it. And yeah, I wrote here 0 embodied learning or awareness of it, because I think that's kind of the second point. I would say that I do have awareness, right? Because I tweeted this, right? To tweet it, you have to at least be aware of it. Hi, Jatin. I think it's pronounced Jatin. You're the guy from... Were you the one from India or from the Middle East? From Lebanon. I think you were from Lebanon, right? I forgot. And also, hey, Hanio, by the way. Were you the one from Lebanon? I know you're the one. Hanio was the one who played guitar. But yeah, I forget. I'm talking about my feelings, by the way. Yeah. Seeing this... I'm from Germany. Okay. Yeah, I think I didn't know where you were from. Where from Germany, by the way? Oh, India. Are you the one from Kerala? No. I think the one from Kerala had a different username. He was the one for yesterday. Berlin, I never said. Okay, yeah. I have a friend in Leipzig right now. He has to fly from... Yeah, he's from Spain like me, so he has to fly to Berlin and then go back down to Leipzig. I've been once or twice, I think. Once, actually. I'm from Mumbai, India. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to keep talking about what I was talking about. Feel free to intercede or whatever. So yeah, I was talking about this kind of awareness of my own feelings, I guess. And yeah, that I am aware, but I guess like the second step that I was thinking of was kind of some kind of embodied learning or something, right? So, okay, I am aware of this. I am aware that I do that, right? But isn't there some kind of way where you kind of learn not to do that, right? That's kind of what I mean by change or learning or something, right? Or growth. That it's not enough to do it. You have to kind of learn it in your body to not do it, right? And just awareness is not enough. That's what I wanted to complain about. And yeah, I wanted to complain about this in the context of my 100. This is talking about like me romantically and all of this, right? But sadly, it's not just in that context where I feel it. I feel it when making videos, right? I feel like my 100 videos that I've made are kind of like this. I think in the coming days, I will be rewatching my own videos to see if I can like extract something from it, right? Extract some growth or like try to see if I have embodied some kind of learnings or some kind of, things like this, right? If it has been a project that has made sense, right? Because I have uploaded 100 videos and this was a part of literally a series of videos where the only thing that mattered was that I uploaded 100 videos, right? I don't know what it is. here is the Spanish one. Here, make 100 videos. And yeah, I think that's kind of the problem, right? That I've made. Well, it's not the problem. Like, the point of the 100 videos was to make them, just to upload, to get kind of used to this process of making videos, so that when I have a good idea, I have kind of the process already there to it. Already kind of, yeah, so that I can do these things. And I think in that sense, I'm not sure if they have helped for something, right? They have not given me any material results, right? I have not gotten any money from it, right? Not from AdSense, and I haven't been hired by anyone from my YouTube videos. I have been hired maybe tangentially, right? Because of I have been posting something every day and people do see it. And maybe I have been hired kind of indirectly for that, for a couple video editing roles, right? But these are not kind of edited videos, right? So this is not a good video editing reel. That's my point, right? I do have a short editing reel here with 6 videos that I've used as examples of stuff that I can make. But yeah, but it's not this kind of it's not something that would, I guess, impress anyone who is looking for a video editor, I would guess. Plus, it's not geared towards that, right? I never set out the intention of making 100 videos that would impress a video editor, right? No, that was not my intention. My intention was just to kind of express my ideas and all of these things, right? And I succeeded at expressing ideas, right? I did express some ideas. And the point is that I'm not sure if it was kind of useful or something like this, right? Or our, not that usefulness or whatever, but yeah, I want to see, like, the ideas have not been useful or something like this in the marketplace of ideas, right? Because they have 0 views, basically. They have very few views. So essentially, they have not been very useful for me to communicate the ideas to others because they have not reached others. So I have to think through the strategy. I think the first videos are useful for what I was setting out to do, right? I think these first videos of Way in English and all of this are interesting because for that. And yeah. Then the next thing I wanted to comment on, I think, because I've kind of not got bored of it, but I think I have more or less said what I wanted to say about this. So the next thing I wanted to say was kind of not workshop or whatever, but to talk about some ideas, right? Now I'm going to start talking about some things that I've thought today, for example, right? And this is an example that I wanted to ask the one person who is here, for example, right? What's your favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? And this was something that I tweeted just like this to see what kind of feedback I got. And I've gotten Black Mirror SO5E2, which I think I have watched. No, I think I have not watched SO5. But yeah, it's interesting, right? I will watch it. But yeah, these were kind of the answers I was looking for. So a Black Mirror episode, right? But what I was thinking of, I'm going to reveal now, is this image of New Year's in Paris, right? Let's see if I can find it like this. This image, right? This was kind of viral, and it was an image of a lot of people on their phones seeing this kind of real life event, right? And I wanted to kind of think out loud about it. Let's see if I can find the video. Because there was a video that was pretty viral, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't this video, but this video shows another angle. And yeah, as you can see, it's like everyone is on their phones, but they are recording this kind of real life thing. And I think this is, right? This is what life is like right now. Because what I wanted people to reply with were kind of, I guess, do you guys know this film? How is it called? 8th Grade. 8th Grade is this Bo Burnham film, right? That's about like little kids. And it's like, yeah, about 8th grade. And it features, I guess, a lot of scenes of people on their phone and a lot of texts and all of this, right?
Hey guys, it's Kayla back with another video.
See? She's like someone who records videos on YouTube and all of this. I haven't not watched the movie, by the way, but I think I may watch it.
So, the topic of today's video is being yourself. Being yourself can be hard, and it's like, aren't I always being myself? And yeah, for sure. But being yourself is like not changing yourself to impress someone else. A lot of people like call me quiet or shy or whatever, but I'm not quiet.
Most quiet. Kayla Day.
I don't talk a lot at school, but if people talk to me and stuff, they'd find out that I'm like really funny and cool and talkative. By the way, I like your shirt a lot. It's like so cool. What?
Never seen it, but I love Bo. Yeah, I love him as well. I love the specials. I really like them. I liked What a lot and Make Happy and all of those ones. I really like them. Inside was also very talked about. I didn't like that one as much because it was, I guess, less. I don't know. I found his stage presence really funny, right? And really kind of innovative and cool. And I liked that. And Inside had less of that, and it had more of like introspective stuff, which I also find interesting. But yeah, and yeah, his music is good, I would say. I think I guess the songs in that are. And yeah, the movie, I have not watched it either. I get reminded of it, right? Because it's pretty relatable, right? It's just like, it's about a girl who makes videos on YouTube, right? So I am someone who makes videos on YouTube as well. and I am also kind of quiet, I would say.
Huh? I said 1 more week of 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, huh? Okay, so growing up can be a little bit scary and weird.
We will begin to explore.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting, and this is kind of what the vibe of what I was thinking. This is kind of the vibe of the answer that I wanted for the question, right? I wanted people to answer with stuff like that, right? Stuff that kind of covers this, like how life is now, I would say. And yeah, let's say I was thinking of stuff like Bo Burnham's movie, how was it called? 8th grade. But I haven't actually watched it, or lol, so I can't really say. Yeah, because mostly I wanted to get at the favorite part, right? I want to see what people's favorite depiction of what living in these times is like. I guess in a good way, right? I guess something bad can be your favorite thing, I guess. But when I think of my favorite movies or my favorite songs or whatever, well, maybe some of my favorite songs can be sad, I guess. But I don't know. I would say that they always have, I guess, some kind of at least happy feeling or something. Some happy feeling, like some happy feeling in them, right? Or that they have some hope or some positive aspect of it, right? I would say. That's what I wanted to see, like people's favorite stuff, not something like what's your most accurate representation or something. No, I wanted to go with favorite because of that, right? I don't know if it's the vibe I want. Yeah. I think I'm... yeah, and then I wanted to comment on another one, which was the one I thought of, right? When I was thinking, I was like, okay, so what is my answer? And my answer could be this channel. This channel is a channel that I watch a lot, who is just a couple who makes travel videos and this kind of stuff, right? She's from Estonia and he's from Argentina, right? And she's like 18. No, this year she's like 20, right? And the guy is like 30 something. So it's like they started dating when she like kind of turned 18 sharp, right? It's interesting, but they are like open about it, right? And the families have met, and he had just like asked her in marriage after 4 years of relationship, I think. So yes, she's now 22, I think, and he's now 34 or something. And yeah, I like their videos a lot, and I think that their travel vlogs are pretty, I guess, what I was saying in this tweet, right? They are pretty. No, not this tweet. This tweet. They are pretty living in these times, right? They are people who make a living by making YouTube videos, right? So I think that is kind of something that is only possible in these times, right? Making videos online and of the kind of that they are, right? So I guess 30, 40 minute long videos of just people talking, right? Well, not talking, not just talking. They are living life, right? But they are living life plus with the camera, right? It helps that they are a couple, so they can like share responsibility in that sense, but that is a big part of their life, right? And that is something that maybe was not kind of that accessible or that relevant, I would say, some time ago. This is very current day phenomenon. And yeah, let's see, I think this video, no, it's this video. In this video, they are like walking around their town, right?
Como el señor que está ahí atrás mío pensando, me siento hoy, Lisana. Pensando, ¿cuándo será nuestra... Puedo dar una idea.
They trade clothes.
¿no?
Para mí.
And yeah, as you can see, what, like the interesting thing about it is that because they travel a lot, right, they show a lot of these traveled places, right? And what you see a lot of is this vibe of that I mentioned of the New Year's Eve thing, right? Of the people on their phones, which is interesting, right? To me, that is very current day, right? If you were to travel to places 50 years ago, you would see people like with their film cameras or whatever. But would it everything be like, I guess like it looks different, right? Because everyone has a phone. Before, when you traveled, maybe less people had cameras, right? Maybe they had those type of cameras, right? But they didn't have video cameras for social media, right? You all get the vibe. So it is very current day, but I like this channel a lot, right? It is positive. I don't know. It's very slice of life. The guy is funny, right? They themselves are part of the problem, right? They are traveling places and they are recording it. So it's not like you can complain a lot by watching them do it, right? It's not like I can, like if I look at the background and I see like everyone on their phones, I know it would be pretty hypocritical of me to be like, everyone is on their phones these days, right? Because I am watching the product of something, of a life that is like that very thing has enabled, right? The fact that everyone can share so easily has, I guess, enabled this, right? And I like that, right? I like that this is something that I enjoy watching, but that kind of accurately shows what real life is like, right? Because I don't go outside a lot, I don't have a job, right? I don't know what real life is like for many people, right? But for many people, I guess, people like life is this, right? Life is going places, and when you go places, you see everyone on their phone, right? It reminds me of what it would be like if I were to go outside and do things.
Casi me voy al agua.
See, it's interesting to see these things on video, to think about what's missing of that from my life. So yeah, there is, I guess, some color, something missing, some resolution, because real life has more resolution, you could say. I don't know the technical term, but yeah, real life has more resolution, more vividness, more whatever.
Ay, cuidado con eso en la cabeza.
And you also I don't feel the cold from here, right? I don't feel cold. I don't feel the cold air in my face from this. I don't notice my legs and my feet getting cold from standing there, or my hands cold from recording. I don't feel the cold. I don't feel these sensations. I also don't smell anything. I don't know if this water smells something. If it smells bad, if it smells good. I don't know. I don't know.
Esa, que no se te caiga. Oh, ¿me ayudas? Ay, gracias. Ayuda al abuelo.
Cada vez que viene Mateo algo le pasa.
¿Qué?
Míralo.
¡Qué hermosura!
Parece un hombre.
Mirá lo que se está derritiendo, Liel.
Yeah, this is yeah, it's a completely different feeling when you are really there. I could put it, what you mean. Yeah. right? I'm not saying, right? I try to not give any like value judgments, right? But I try to be observant, right? I try to look at things as how they are. So real life, what is real life, right? Because one could say something like, oh, why would you want to go somewhere if you can look at it from the YouTube screen, right? And that's a retarded question, because the answer is so obvious that I guess people like, it doesn't compute. It's like it's obviously qualitatively different in so many aspects that it's like dumb to say them out loud, right? It's obviously different because you don't feel the code, you don't feel the things, blah blah blah, right? So it is not the whole experience. So obviously, even if you see it, you are not living it, right? They went on a cruise on the Arctic or something, and they did this thing, right? So it's like, okay, so just because I watched it, does it mean that I don't want to do that? Fuck no, right? Or I don't know. I guess it changes when you're talking about art, for example, right? If seeing a painting is seeing a painting in real life that much better than seeing it through the screen, it depends, right? Then it depends. For me, it's like listening to music or going to a concert. It's just different. Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, there the difference is also like really clear, right? It's like, yes, it's listening to the same songs, but the whole atmosphere is different, right? Everything around you is different. It's like, why would you want to go to the concert when you can listen to the song, better interpreted even? Because sometimes, like, yeah, the studio version is kind of actually like technically better in some sense or whatever, right? But like, that's not even the point. Like, that's less of the point. But yeah, I got derailed there. Yeah, it was, basically this, right? That I like this channel, and I think this is the answer that I would give to my own question. What is my favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? And my personal favorite one is this one, right? It's this channel. This type of vlogs, travel vlogs, that show kind of the accessibility and ubiquitousness, right, of airline travel, of international travel, the kind of serendipity of this Argentinian guy ending up in Estonia and marrying a girl from Estonia, this kind of international sense of it, the easiness of traveling, the power of people making videos and making money from that, and that enabling some kind of different lifestyle. But that different lifestyle, they are not like doing luxury traveling from it, right? They are traveling like many other people travel, just that they are doing it every day, right? That is their main activity, while for other people it's just their rest activity or their vacations or something, right? And they do it all the time. But they are still doing it humbly, I guess, right? They are not traveling like all out, expense everything, right? They are frugal in that sense. Some says personal is just better than professional. Yeah. Yeah, especially in like smaller stuff. Yeah, and if it's bigger, it's even better. Like if it's bigger, it can be not even better, but it is bigger, right? So the magnitude becomes more apparent. Being one of 60,000 in a 60,000 people concert is a very different experience than listening to something in your house alone. from a person who has 100,000 monthly listeners or whatever. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to drink water. Okay, and I'm going to add this to the tweet that I was talking about. And my answer, by the way, would be something like TH, what we do here. Hello. Several things. What does the title say? Me continuing reading other people's advice and talking about other topics. Right now, I am in the talking about other topics part, and the topic at hand was answering this question. What's your favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? Right? And I was going through my whole explanation about it. And basically, yeah, I thought first about the 8th grade movie by Bo Burnham. I'm not sure if you know it. It's a movie about an 80-year-old girl, and the movie kind of shows not 80-year-old, 8th grade, so like 12-year-old or something, like between 12 and 13, when you are about to move to high school, I would say. And yeah, the movie kind of depicts these first days of high school or whatever, and this kind of being on your phone every day as you're a teenager, and how the internet plays like a big role on life and all of this. And my answer, but I'm not sure if that's my answer, because I haven't watched the movie, first of all, and I was looking for kind of like your favorite depiction of it, right? So I am not sure if the movie is that positive. Hello, sir. Hello, Mascot Code. Are you from India? My answer, by the way, would be something like this YouTube channel, Data Travel Blog. Sorry, the sir confused me. What's SA? Where are you from? They're a travel blog. Okay, so I think you guys got the message, right? This is me answering the question, right? I explained the Bo Burnham part, and I am like rating my answer to this. My answer would be something like this YouTube channel, they're a travel blog channel. They show. Yeah, I was going to screen cap.
Canaima. Ay, cómo patina.
Australia, where are you from, mate? I'm from Spain. Good day, or good night, good morning, maybe. They're a travel blog channel, they show. And yeah, I will be reading advice soon. I think I am going to record a video, right? I am streaming right now, but I am going to record what I just said in video form. If you want to stay to see it, you will understand what I am kind of writing right now. Plus, then after I record the video, it will be funny because you will have seen live recording of something, which I think is always interesting. And then I will talk about the thing that I mentioned on the title of the streaming, which is me continuing to blah, blah, blah. It's 2:30 a.m. I'm going to hit the sack. Good night. Okay, then good night. They're a travel blog channel. They show yeah, then I will be reading the advice. So, okay, focus. I'm going to write the tweet. First, I have to script the video, aka write the tweets. They're a travel blog channel. What did they say? I say the thing about the positives, right? They show they are positive. They are a positive, fun, endearing couple. They're international. They which are things pretty that modernity, let's say modernity, or like these contemporary times have enabled, but also and in their videos they show what traveling looks like right now. Yeah, and now I'm going to make the video about it, right? Now I'm going to... The thing is that I don't know how I'm going to make the video, because yeah, as you this is what I use OBS, right? So as you can see, this is the software. I can change scenes, and what I was thinking of is me saying something at the camera, right? But I don't know what the title of this video is, right? I think the title of the video should be the question, right? What's your favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? But I'm not sure, like, how, like, if that's a good title. I think the title should be the question, right? I don't think the title should be something like, this is my favorite depiction of modern times, or whatever. I think that's pretty kind of stupid. And then after this, I would then show, yeah, but the thing is that I don't like this black background, right? I would like to ask the question, right? So what is your favorite depiction of the modern times? But I don't know if I want to ask me to the camera directly without having anything. But I think that having the tweet behind me looks too messy. Maybe doing something like this. And paint, no, not this one. Regular paint. And kind of making it larger, right? Something like this, and then hiding the bar. And then, fuck it, let's do the scene, duplicate the scene, zoom, and now, yeah, now I have to do this, right? Okay, so it's to hide like the bars and all of it. Okay, so for that, fuck. How the fuck do I, okay, control for control. Okay, and control for control, so here a little bit as well. Okay, and now adjusting, so here, and then I can do a little bit of this, pick up the color and fill in. Boom. Okay, this is pretty decent, right? And if I paint, if I use like this brush, the thing is that fucking paint sucks because the brushes are so small. So yeah, I can do this. And hide these things, for example. This is boring and this is boring. Then I copy paste this, well, not copy, cut, paste here, kind of to the limit, like this, and filling in the gaps. Boom. Okay, more or less, right? And I do this a little bit. I put the light closer. Let's see if it works. Trying to see if the chroma a little bit cleaner, trying to get the chroma a little bit cleaner, and then putting me in the middle or something. Something like this. Okay. And is it better if I zoom it in? I don't like the chair. Like, okay. What the fuck? Yeah, this is basically because I took like here. Okay. Fuck it. This will have to do. So I will literally read, what's your favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? What's your favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? Then I pause, I open up Twitter and I start explaining. Okay, so I asked Twitter this question. Then I go through the first Bo Burnham tweet, with Bo Burnham kind of in my background, the 8th whatever trailer or whatever, and then I go with the Matteo and Lisana with the thing in the background, and yeah, finish the video. What's your favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? Okay, now I'm paused, so now I can do this and do something like returning to my usual space, which is the corner, something like this. And now I go about explaining this. Hello Jason, I'm recording a video right now. You can stay if you want to know what I say in the video, because I am recording the video, so I will explain, right? Okay, so the video. Okay, so before I asked Twitter what your favorite depiction of what living in these times is like. The first thing that came to mind was Bo Burnham's 8th grade movie. But because I have not actually watched it, I can't really say if it's my favorite depiction or not. Now let's go to the 8th grade. Let's mute the trailer and play it. People don't have like attention spans these days. You have to put stimuli constantly. So in the movie, you see a lot of things that are like very current day, you could say, right? Very representational of these times. For example, like a teenager who is making videos and who talks to people on their phone, and the movie kind of shows very accurately how people use their phones, right? I think it was praised for that. When I saw like critiques on Reddit or something, people were saying how this movie accurately represented that period of time, plus how like interacting with all of these kind of technologies look like, right? But because I have not watched the movie, I'm not sure if it's my favorite, because I have not watched it, right? And also I'm not sure if it's the vibe that I want, because it does seem kind of not bad, but yeah, I guess sometimes cynical of these kind of interactions, right? And I wanted to see if there is a better outlook that one can see towards these times. Play other people's channel in the background. That's the next step. Okay, so this is my actual answer, right? So now I'm going to say my actual answer. Okay, let's read my actual answer. So my actual answer would be something like this YouTube channel. Why are you reading your own answer from a tweet? Because I think when I write tweets, I condense information in a pretty decent way. I'm not like the master writer or anything, but I do think I condense information in a pretty dense way. So yeah, that's why I'm reading my own tweet to remind myself of what I am going to say. My answer would be something like this YouTube channel. They're a travel blog channel, they are positive, fun, endearing couple, they're international, which are things that modernity haven't. Well, I can actually do this. I can put this here in case I forget stuff. And I can just have the channel in the background. Okay. And then I can do this, and you don't even see the little tabs, right? I don't mind that you see them, by the way, but okay. So, this. The answer I was thinking of, right, was this channel. This was kind of the most true answer for the question for me right now. I still want to hear your answers, but my answer will be this channel. And why would you say? And I think it's because they're, well, first of all, what are they? They are a travel-oriented channel. They're a couple. He's from Argentina. She's from Estonia. They met in Estonia because he traveled there. He learned the language, and she was kind of one of these tandem language partners to teach. She would teach him Estonian, and he would teach her Spanish. So they met that way, and then they started kind of traveling the world. He started making videos there from Estonia, which was kind of travel content for the people from his hometown in Spain, well, in Argentina, in Spanish language, right? And I think that this is a very, well, first of all, it's positive because they are positive people, right? He's Argentinian, so he's very eloquent. He talks a lot. He's very jokey, right? He makes a lot of jokes. He has a lot of this talkative energy. And she's less like that. She's Estonian, so she's like pretty cold. But yeah, you can tell that they have like loving energy between each other and all of this. So it is a positive channel after all, right? They are doing things together as a couple mostly, so their energy is there. And yeah, they're international, right? He's from Argentina, she's from Estonia. So that is kind of something that I guess represents the modern times a lot, right? It's not that you have to have like this kind of mixed heritage or whatever, or that mixed heritage was like more common before or something. But I do think that these kind of odd couples, right? A guy from Argentina and a girl from Estonia are kind of something that these modern times has enabled, right? And you, for example, can be watching from anywhere in the world, and I'm from Spain, but I'm making videos in English, right? So it is this strange thing that if it's not like unique to these times, it's at least, I guess, very potent these days with these technologies and all of these things. Right? It is kind of a couple that could not have been formed or even conceived, right? Not that long ago, I would say, right? Like the kinds of people would be very different, right? He would not be just kind of this regular, more or less regular, outgoing Argentinian guy, right? It would have to be like a proper explorer, right? To go that far away, just, I guess, 200 years ago, for example. Or there would have to be some kind of actual catastrophe, or more or less, to have big emigration type movements. And also, yeah, in their videos, because they're a travel channel, right? They show, for example, they go to these beaches, they go to a lot of Latin American countries because he speaks Spanish. Well, they both speak more or less Spanish. So yeah, they show these a lot of these countries, but they travel kind of in a more or less humble way, right? They show the current state of travel. And for example, this is a recent video of them. And in this video, you can see how current travel looks like, right? This is their home country, well, her home country, but you can see that people are like on their phones and they are not like just epic travel blogs, right? No, they are pretty close and pretty accurate depictions of what modern travel is like, right? They are both showing what travel is like by I guess not cutting or not being like overly cinematic or anything, but also they are, I guess, part of that, right? They can go to all these places because they can go to Venezuela, they can go to United States or whatever, because it is, I guess, accessible to people to do it, right? You can do it on a regular salary, right? They are not like uber rich showing you like the luxury travel experience. No, they are like more or less showing what regular people could afford. But the thing is that they do it a lot more, right? They do it very often. That is kind of their way of earning a living. That is where it differs from, I guess, most people. But I do think that still this kind of movement or environment or type of people is very current today, right? It's very these times, right? Because if you are not them who is traveling a lot, right? Because most people are not, there are a lot of people who watch them, right? So most people at least are part of this via watching, right? Me included, right? And I thought that that would be kind of my answer to the question that I asked. And yeah, something that reminded me of this, right, is this image, right? This tweet, I think, kind of represents, I guess, what modernity is like, right? I guess what these days are like. This is like New Year's 2024 and in Paris. And it is essentially like everyone on their phones, but there, right? So it's like being there, you know that it's different to watching it on your phone. But it's also kind of interesting to see, right? To see so clearly how phones are now so ubiquitous, right? It is kind of a good 20 seconds, 1 minute experience of what these days are like, right? If you go everywhere now, you will see kind of this to a lesser extent, right? You will see whatever is happening in the world and a lot of people on their phones. And I don't know, I think it's like an interesting image, right? It is, I think it's kind of beautiful, right? It has beauty. There is beauty to seeing like so many lights and the phones like all lit up as well as the fireworks. I think there is a beauty to it. And now I want to show the actual tweet. I'm paused, by the way, now. Hey, I can actually end with this, right? So yeah, to end the video, I just wanted to say, like, to ask you, what is your actual like favorite depiction of what living in these times is like? Take into account all these things that I mentioned, right? So favorite as in positive, right? It has to at least have some, right? I would say that if it's your favorite depiction of something, it would have to have some positive things in it, right? And what living in these times is like. I would like leave it in the comments or yeah, write me on Twitter about it, whatever. Bye. End of the video. Okay. Yeah, I am creating content in real time. You just watch this. I just finished creating the content in real time. So, yeah, I could... No. Yeah, so now I am going to upload it. I'm not going... Yeah, I'm just going to leave it processing it in the background. I'm not just going to upload it and watch you guys through all of this, right? You can also, like... it was a video, but even in the stream, you can answer what I said in the video, right? The video itself is like something I talk on the stream, right? Via streaming myself making the video. Plus, if I commented on it while scripting the video, you could say. Okay. Yeah, actually that I finished that, and I think I wanted to I wanted to end the video by reading something that was related to the abyss somehow. Let's see if I can find it. Because I said that I was going to read advice on here and I have not read it. But yeah, the next thing on the schedule, you could say, is reading advice, right? Oh, actually, I didn't finish the Paul Graham's essay on reading great work, but I think I will finish this another day and see if I can find the thing I wanted to say. No, I didn't save it, actually. Fuck. I read something that said abyssal, and I filter follows, maybe. Not sure. Okay, so I can't find the abyssal thing. So I don't know what I was looking at when I tweeted the thing. When I tweeted this tweet, can't comment on computer for some reason. WhatsApp Blitzer 658, aka follower from Twitter. Yo, why can't I comment? Do you mean on here? No idea. or on the live stream. No idea. Yeah, when I wrote the thing that I wrote, this old tweet thing, I don't know what was on my TL to find that. But I found something that said the word abyssal in it. And it was some kind of essay, I would say. Oh, I think maybe I could find it here. No. I think it was in the replies of this tweet. Oh, maybe it was in the comments of the essay. If you haven't looked into it, I highly recommend reading. Oh, it's all sending it now. Okay. Control F, abyssal. This, I wanted to read this. Okay, yeah. So I was feeling kind of abyssal and I wanted to read this on here. To read this while live. I'm going to do this so you can read it too. Okay, I'm going to read first the comment. Anyways, I really wanted to tell you something. Doing 3-channel communication. Anyway, if you haven't looked into it already, I highly recommend reading Minding Your Way by Nate Soares. Is it an essay or like a book? Okay. Some kind of blog post series, it seems like. Or this book. It's called Replacing Guilt and it's about replacing guilt. Okay, I will give it a go, probably. I have a lot of backlog in my book reading. I'm currently reading some ebook, then I have another ebook here, and I have this book, and then I have this other one. But yeah. I will be reading. But today I will be reading this. I wanted to mention this abyssal thing because I have tweeted about the abyss, I think, as well. From Coral Drift Abyss. Nice abyss, damn, do it stare back. I think this is a good tweet, by the way. But yeah, my classic We're So Early vid is very about the abyss, I would say. But yeah, so watch my It's So Early vid. But yeah, this is a blog by Ben Kuhn, and I like Ben's. I know who Ben is because I know a little bit about who Ben is because yeah, he has these essays type things, and he had this company called Wave, which was about payments in Africa, right? So I was interested of this kind of payments, but in Africa, where I guess kind of infrastructure or like payments stuff was still not developed, right? So there was like a big gap there, and it was interesting to see like how they did it with the constraints that doing it there comes with, right? And yeah. So let's read the thing. Well, first I'm going to drink a little bit of water. Fuck. I clicked on your shit, so it stood on some place and I didn't read the next things you said. By this AI dude who uses rationality to solve motivation problems. Hit the words of the wise blitzer. Eventually you'll say, oh, why didn't I read this sooner? Yo, I laugh at my own tweets too. I have a video, literally just me laughing at my own tweets, by the way. In case you want to watch it. It's called me reading my own tweets and laughing. Here, reacting to my own tweets, I'm probably laughing. Okay, so let's go into the essay. Staring into the abyss as a core life skill. Recently, I've been thinking about how all my favorite people are great at a skill I've labeled in my head as staring into the abyss. This phrase originates from a quote by Nietzsche. I didn't know that, so it's nice to know. I'm probably not using staring into the abyss in the same sense Nietzsche intended, since I wouldn't really describe what I'm talking about as fighting with a monster, or like it has the potential to turn you into a monster. However, when I described this blog post to a friend without using the term, she independently described it as staring into the abyss, as did Elon Musk when he said that being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. Staring into the abyss, in the sense I mean, is indeed a core skill of being a founder, as discussed later. So I think this is a reasonable leap. Yeah. Staring into the abyss means thinking reasonably about things that are uncomfortable to contemplate, like arguments against your religious beliefs or in favor of breaking up with your partner. It's common to procrastinate on thinking hard about these things because it might require to acknowledge that you were very wrong about something in the past and perhaps wasted a bunch of time based on that. E.g., dating, well, exemple gratia, dating the wrong person or praying to the wrong god. Let me look up if I've said e.g. well before having been pedantic. Exempli gratia, okay. Exempli gratia, dating the wrong person or praying to the wrong god. However, in most cases you have to either admit this eventually, or if you never admit it, lock yourself into a suboptimal future life trajectory. So it's best to be impatient and stare directly into the uncomfortable topic until you've figured out what to do. Right, so I think I am on the right track, right? I think this live stream process, making videos, is a way of staring into the abyss, I would say, right? Not because making videos in my way is difficult or because streaming is difficult, but because of the stuff that I talk about here, right? Which is, I talk all the time about me not getting a job and all of these things, right? And I think that is contemplating what could have been, right? In this abyssal sense, right? So maybe I will have to fold and get the job, right? But I will only do that after having contemplated it, right? And after having been very wrong about being jobless for 2 fucking years, right? That is like the path I have decided to take, which is abyssal in this sense, I would say, right? Wait, can you give a quick recap of the lore? Why don't you have a job? Okay, so if you want a not quick recap of the lore, I have a video here called Story of My Life, which is basically, I would say, a fraction of my lore, the lore that I publicly talk about on YouTube. There is a lot of that. There is a lot of my lore that I don't. Even if it may be if it may sound weird because I publish a lot of shit, but yeah, this is the long version. The short version, I don't know. Like I wouldn't know. Like I don't know. Why don't you have a job? Okay, so I was a kid then. Then I grew up, and I've always kind of been into cars, and I've always kind of liked mechanical engineering and all of these things, right? Well, not I've always been into cars, and I discovered that mechanical engineering, aka the way you make cars, was a thing, right? At around 14, so I kind of fixated autistically into that and said, I want to be this, and never like thought about anything different, right? I never thought anything different, and I just followed the path that would get me there, right? And the thing is that to get into university here, it's pretty easy. So, well, not pretty easy. For me, it was really easy. So I didn't have to like put any effort or whatever, right? So I didn't have to like change any of my ways to achieve to get on the path of success of that, right? Then, and I got into my degree because also the degree that I wanted was not very prestigious or anything, right? Mechanical engineering, because of lore that I would find out later, it turns out to not be a very prestigious degree, so I could simply like apply and it was reasonably easy to get in, right? Then, after that, I got into the degree easily, and because of the gifted kid thing, I suffered more or less in third year, right? I failed a lot of subjects on my degree in third year, and escaped. Well, and a friend of mine and all of that, there in college, went to Germany because we have like exchange programs here, and I said, fuck it, let's go. And I followed him, and I went, not with him, but I said, okay, I will go on exchange program as well. And yeah, I went there. It was a cool experience. Then I came back, and I took a long time to finish my degree. And in the last couple of years of finishing my degree, that I had very little subjects, right? I was kind of NEET molding without technically being a NEET, because technically I was still a student, right? But I was not like a full-time student because I didn't have a lot of subjects, right? So during COVID, I did intern at some engineering company doing some like research and development stuff, but it was pretty, it was a dumb experience and pretty bad. So it kind of drove me away from wanting to have a job. Then I finished my degree late, and while finishing, I kind of was reading a lot of online stuff, right? And online, everyone I follow kind of is a software engineer or whatever. So I don't know why I kind of got into that software engineering thing as a job, right? So I did a bootcamp, a free bootcamp on Twitch from a guy who teaches that. So I was kind of doing that while studying, but studying very little, because I just had like one subject and like my final degree project or whatever. And then I finished that more or less, and I finished my degree, and I remain and like when I finished my degree, essentially I had finished my degree and I had kind of finished this thing, but I didn't actually ever like go ham on getting this software engineering job. So I never ended up getting a job. But also kind of my mom had cancer when I was kind of finishing the software thing, right? The software bootcamp. So I was not about to be like, I don't know. I kind of had some internal reticence to get a job because I was needed more or less jobless, right? It was better that I was jobless, but I could handle, like, help out and all of this instead of getting a job, right? But now that time has passed and I remain jobless, right? So there is that. And yeah, now I gave up on the software thing, right? because in all of this free time that I had and all of this, I realized that I had a lot of friction towards software, right? Towards coding and all of this, right? And I thought it was like starting something on the wrong foot, right? It's not the same to have friction regarding engineering, like physical world engineering, right? Because it is kind of harder to be in the context where you can engineer stuff, right? So it is more of a job in that sense, right? But to me, software was like, the way I saw it was that it was like the barrier for doing it well and doing it with interest and all of this was like so low that being a passionless software engineer made zero sense to me, right? Like being a passionless engineer in the physical world makes more sense because the environment is kind of like more passionless, right? It is more cog-like. You are more a cog in the machine. So it is kind of more like that, right? So I turned away from that, but it made sense that it was that way. But software has the possibility of being less cog-like, right? Or it has like all of these smart people talking about stuff, but I was very much more into the people talking about stuff than in software than into the software itself, right? I was never like doing software things. That's the problem. So I was like, fuck it, let's talk about stuff, right? And I was on Twitter every day, right? I was reading more or less like blog posts and tweets. I was writing tweets and making videos, right? Essentially talking, right? So I don't know. That's kind of the lore or whatever. So, back to the essay. Staring into the abyss means thinking reasonably about things that are uncomfortable to contemplate, like arguments against your religious beliefs or in favor of breaking up with your partner. It's common, okay, however, in most cases, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The first time I learned what really exceptional abyss staring looks like, it was by watching Drew, the CEO of Wave. Starting a company requires a lot of staring into the abyss, because it involves making lots of serious mistakes, building the wrong thing, hiring the wrong person, etc. to move quickly. You need to be fast at acknowledging and fixing them. Drew was extremely willing to tackle uncomfortable decisions head-on. Should we not have hired this person? Should we pivot away from this business that is pretty good but not great? And every time it was immediately obvious that the decision he made was a big improvement. Okay, I think I'm definitely not like this. I am way worse at this. Than him, and I think I don't do this enough, right? I get in my head about this, but I don't think I face uncomfortable decisions head on, right? I think I face uncomfortable decisions about what I could do, right? I could do, like, I watch a lot of entrepreneurship stuff, right? And entrepreneurship stuff is filled with a lot of do things right, fail fast, whatever, right? And I'm like, and I definitely don't fail fast, I would say, right? Since then, I've become fascinated by the role that abyss staring plays into people's lives. I've noticed that it wasn't just Drew who is great at this, but many of the people whose work I respected the most or who have had the most impact on how I think. Conversely, I also noticed that for many of the people I know who have struggled to make good high-level life decisions, they were at least partly blocked by having an abyss that they needed to stare into, but flinched away from. Yeah, I would probably say that I failed at this, and I think I like Alex Hormozy's way of saying it. I think Alex Hormozy has a way of saying like difficult, harder decision or something like this. Let's see. I'm not sure.
Decisions in two buckets, which is it a reversible decision or irreversible decision? If it is irreversible, to what degree is it irreversible?
Okay, this is the two-way Amazon two-way.
Having a kid, very irreversible. Marriage, less irreversible, but also tough to get out of there. You know, where we're gonna go for lunch today, irreversible, but very low stake. Partially why people struggle with it so much because it is an irreversible decision, but it also doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a reversible decision side, then those ones we just say, I like using the term, what's my best bad guess? It sets the bar lower for the expedition.
Okay, not this. It is something like hard conversations.
The life you want is on the other side of a few hard conversations, and you're living a life you hate because you're too afraid to have them.
Yeah, I think this is a tweet that Alex Hormozi has.
I think about that a lot because like whenever I feel anxious or insecure or angry or sad, I'm like, what conversation do I need to have that I'm not having? And usually if I just think for not that long, I'm like, this is the conversation I've been putting off. And so I'll just call myself a pansy for not having the conversation. And then I just have it. Like these things that you dread, I don't know if you notice it, but like the day you do it, the moment after you do it, I'm like, how many other conversations can I have? Like I want to be like,
the life.
Yeah. The life that you want is behind a couple of hard conversations. Right? I like that way of phrasing it, and I think this abyss staring is a way of wording this hard conversation thing. Right? I think that is when the abyss is other people. Right? That is many people's abysses. How many people's abysses looks like. Right? And it's probably my case as well. I don't have the hard conversations though. Yeah. So I've come to believe that becoming more willing to stare into the abyss is one of the most important things you can do to become a better thinker and make better decisions about how to spend your life. To try to recreate the flavor of watching Drew stare into the abyss for 7 years, here are some examples. When he and his co-founder Lincoln first started a company together, well before my time, they built about 10 different social mobile apps in succession, pivoting from each one when it didn't get traction. The decision to pivot away from a product they invested a lot of effort into designing, building, and distributing is painful enough that many people procrastinate on it and keep working on ideas that clearly aren't working. In fact, Drew and Lincoln had a third co-founder who left partway through this phase, in part because doing so many things that failed made him too stressed and anxious. To be clear, this is a reasonable reaction that I probably also would have had if I'd been working with them at the time. Yeah, this is probably pretty real, right? I think a lot of people are like that, probably including myself, right? And definitely my circle and all of this, right? If they see that you do something that makes no sense one time, they're like, why are you doing this? That makes no sense. And if you do it like 10 times, they're like, what? Once they pivoted the 11th time and launched SendWave, building money transfer from the US to Kenya by delivering to the M-Pesa mobile money system, the product grew incredibly quickly, and within less than a year, a majority of the total possible users were using Wave. I joined toward the tail end of that year. When we tried to expand to other countries, we realized that their mobile money systems weren't nearly as good as M-Pesa, which meant that the user experience was worse and the potential market was smaller than expected. So what's the plan though? No idea. What plan do you mean? The default response would have been to ignore this info and continue trying to expand SendWave to integrate with progressively worse mobile money systems in other countries, thus implicitly accepting the constraint of smaller market size while refusing to actually acknowledge it. Instead, Drew and Lincoln realized that if mobile money was so bad in other countries, we had the opportunity to launch a better one ourselves. In late 2015, they delegated running SendWave to other employees, went almost completely hands-off, and moved to Africa to work on what was effectively their 12th completely different startup. It's now really obvious that this was the right move, since Wave, the mobile money company, was recently valued at over 3x what SendWave sold for. But that wasn't obvious even within Wave until maybe 2019. Back in 2015, when they made the original decision to pivot, it required an absurd amount of conviction. Like YouTube plan. Oh, my YouTube plan. I don't know. The next PewDiePie. Lumao. I'm not sure. Streaming, definitely. I think I will keep streaming this kind of I don't know. I'm not sure if I like streaming, but I'm not sure if I'm good at it. That's the problem, right? So I'm not sure if it makes sense to keep doing it. I think until I run out of things to say. I think when I run out of things to say, I will probably stop. But I keep coming up with new things to say every day, right? So that's a problem against stopping. So I guess the plan is to continue. After our mobile money pilot started to take off in one country, we tried expanding to a second. Drew, sorry. You never run out of... What the fuck? Let's see what happens if I do this. You're never running out of anything. So of money, I'm running out of... That's the problem, right? That I will run out of money. So the plan is probably to keep doing it until I run out of money. In which case, right? So, yeah, I don't know. My plan is to kind of subtly turn this into like my money-making process in some sense, right? So I have made a lot of streams applying to jobs. The first ones on the streaming series was me applying to stuff, right? Because I can't do it if I'm not if I'm not streaming, or I have a harder time doing it. And the next step is probably that, like to keep kind of balancing these things, right? Keep balancing just me talking shit and me doing stuff that will pump it up, right? And the thing is that I have to have both, right? It's like both have to be like both have to happen, I guess. And balancing both is the problem. Okay, but the thing I keep asking myself is, okay, how many more articles will I read? How many more YouTube videos will I watch before I finally figure this shit out, right? And yeah, to me, yeah, I ask myself that as well. But especially regarding like travel vlogs, right? I love watching this channel of travel vlogs, the channel I mentioned before, right? And I am like, yeah, I like watching this, right? But it's like when you are 80 years old, it makes sense to love watching travel vlogs, right? When you are 27, it makes much more sense to love traveling, right? So I'm like, when will it be my turn? Right? That is what I'm getting at, right? And to me, the thing is that I am kind of specific, right? I am picky in my way of traveling, right? Andy, for example, I don't remember where you're from. I think you're from the Middle East as well, right? So to me, it makes more sense to know someone in the Middle East and then go there, right? Than to go there purposelessly to see what everyone else has seen, right? I forgot your actual country. That's why I say Middle East in general. But I think it was like Saudi Arabia. I don't know. But yeah. That is my thing, right? And meanwhile, I will keep watching. That's kind of my... I don't know how many more videos I will have to watch, but I will keep watching it because it's actually it's not a painful process, right? There is a painful part of it, which is the fact that I am not doing it and it is not my turn yet. But if the videos are good, right, like I will watch them. I guess the question is like, when is it fuel to build your turn machine, and when it's the opposite, right? When is it fuel to build your turn machine, and when is it just morphine, so you more morphine or whatever, so you never actually end up having your turn. And yeah. I don't know. What's the way the aversion for like software or mech engineering though? What you think that is that? I think, I mean, I don't want to say this because it sounds dumb, and I guess people will say, "Oh, but you start low everywhere, right?" And it is starting low, right? Well, actually, in software, it's not starting low. In mechanical engineering, it's starting low. I don't actually like that much the process of the feeling of starting low in the way it's structured in mechanical engineering, right? So you start in a big company doing, right, if you want to, there are like a couple of paths. I wanted to be like an automotive mechanical engineering, right? Mechanical engineering. So you either start in the field in big companies, more or less, doing shit that no one cares about, or you start in smaller companies, kind of doing a little bit shit with a little bit more responsibility, right? But always, I guess, kind of not being paid the amount of money that it would make sense to be paid of, right? Given the, I guess, scale of how everything goes, I would say. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Given the alternatives that one has for like similar kinds of work, right? I would say. For example, tech pays much more than mechanical engineering, right? Than physical stuff engineering. But physical stuff engineering is not physical in any way, right? It's like you are still dealing with abstractions, right? It's just that the abstractions that you're dealing with will one day more or less become a car, maybe, right? I don't know. That's my point of view. I have a friend who works, like I did the mechanical engineering, so I have friends in that. And I have one friend who works in a company that kind of builds supercars for supercar companies, you could say, right? And they do like homologation for crash stuff and all of these things. And there is a cool feeling of like seeing that what you built became the actual car, right? Or seeing that your coworker made this part for this car, right? And that's like fucking epic, right? But I was like, my mind is too abstracted to deal with those small things, right? My mind doesn't think in this, fuck, how can I make the best little tube for air to go through, right? I don't think like that. I always kind of jump up the next level of abstraction, right? I'm always like, my mind goes to that. And I think business is more related to this, right? So that's, I think, where I am orienting myself towards. Do you feel internally aligned? Like you're not finding yourself P? Right now? I don't know. I don't really feel... It depends, right? Or is this still struggle? When I am streaming or making videos or whatever, I don't know. I am I think so, right? I think no, I think I am more aligned than I was before, but I still think I'm not. I'm way far from being aligned because of the things that I don't mention in the story of my life part on YouTube, right? Of the things that are not said because of the unsaid. I don't know. I think of this word aligned, and I think right now I feel pretty aligned, but in a bad way, right? So when you are like a loser at everything, right? When your personal life sucks, when your work life sucks, when you have no money, right? When all of these things pile up, it is pretty aligned in a way, right? So it does fit a lot of narratives that the world likes to tell, of these kind of success narratives, right? So it does feel pretty aligned in that sense, but it is aligned in a bad way, right? So I don't know. My question is like, is that true, right? Is the feeling of alignment true? What are you reading this period? What ideas are you interested in? What have I just read, finished reading, or what I am starting to read? Today I was reading this book. It's called Klaus and Lucas. And it's a novel, I guess, and it's about, I guess, world, like time in the world or so, whatever. And yeah, I read it because some philosophy guy started a book club, and yeah, and I like his book recommendations. I read this book. I read it last year, and it was good, right? It is a narrative book, and I liked it. And then the book I was reading before that was about making money writing. So it's a Spanish copywriter. So yeah, I'm going to be reading that. And then I got gifted this book by a Twitter mutual. And broadly speaking, I had a period where I was obsessed with entrepreneur stuff. Now I'm uninterested and I'm reading about rationality. Yeah. I relate, but I have a lot of. I brought I have my entrepreneur books on my table. I don't know why. Oh yeah, because I wanted to apply to a job and I mentioned them. I have my Gary Vee books, my Millionaire Next Door, and 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel books here. So yeah, I've had my phase of that, and right now I'm still in that phase, right? I guess I don't read that much, right? It depends. Like when you say what are you reading lately, what I am reading lately, it's Twitter, right? The Twitter timeline. And what does the Twitter timeline talk about? Dating discourse, right? So essentially, people talk about getting the girlfriends and how and incels and all of these things. That's what people talk about on Twitter. So that's what I'm reading about. I just got disillusioned. Yeah, I don't know. Your Twitter fell off. I still read it. Maybe it fell off. I still spent 8 hours a day on it, so to me it didn't fall off, I would say. I got disillusioned. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I've gotten disillusioned with entrepreneurship. I think it's my path. Right? I think it's in my path, but the niche thing is what I don't like. I spend 16 hours a day on it too, but I'm not having fun. I do think I have fun. I think it's a fun place. I'm not even replying anymore. I just don't care. I guess caring is kind of built into me, right? I think I don't have this habit of the like doom scrolling on things, right? I jump to the comment section too quickly on everything, right? I can't really doom scroll Reddit, right? I can spend a lot of hours on Reddit, but it's maybe like it's half and half, right? I know this feeling of doom scrolling, right? I know when you've like scrolled through the Twitter timeline and you start seeing the same tweets that you have already seen. But I've probably replied to a couple of them, right? I have not, and I know the feeling of like not remembering what the fuck you've done the whole day. But I can scroll down through my replies and be like, oh, that's what I did, right? It's not one tweet every 15 minutes. So it is more sparse, I would say, but I have proof. I can see the proof of it. I didn't know you came from the Visa teapot, by the way. It depends on what do you mean, what you came from. I have a Twitter story of where I came from. I read his blog, like the actual blogs. Interesting. See, I was on Twitter before that, right? But before knowing Visa. But I started posting more because Visa is like a poster, right? And because he like actively encourages small people to do it. So I did it more because of him, definitely. But I was there before. I was just more interacting with, so from Scorro, Drift, Teapot, Origin. I think here. Yeah, I had Twitter since like 2011, right? I've noticed this cycle. I can guess the cycle. I'm not seeing the cycle yet, but I'm guessing it's something like read Visa tweet, get excited about something, then realize something, and then read Visa tweet again, get excited, something like this. I would get the Twitter. Yeah, but this is how it is, right? I followed people like people in real life, right? So I tend to find, not early, but yeah, like people talk about these platforms and whatever. Then I followed car journalists, car accounts, and Taylor Swift people when I was in college, right? Early college and all of this. I started seeing it, using it a little bit more because of that. And then I arrived to Teapot when I was like researching this kind of taking notes stuff, like stuff about taking notes and like optimal taking systems or whatever. And there I found Visa through that, like because people adjacent to that interacted with him, and that's when I ended up here. I have a problem. I try the usual methods. They fail. I find a niche internet micro celebrity. I fall in love with their ideas. The idea fails. Then off to the next idea. Still a loser. Lol. Lemao. Yeah. maybe I'm not sure if I noticed the cycle. Right? To me, the thing is that, like, how do you difference between these shapes? And between these, right? Like when you're here, it's not here, but it does look lower than here, right? So yeah, how do you know that this is not actually like a spiral growing up, right? I don't know, I'm trying to be profound or whatever, but I don't have the answers. I'm in the same place. I don't know. I guess it depends on like how much patience do you have, and I think, well, how much patience do you have, and for what? I would say, or like, how much do you know yourself to know that you can come back to things that you have failed at, versus like actually like burying or whatever, right? Or like mourning stuff or whatever. I don't know. I don't have the words for that, but like if you find a niche internet micro celebrity whose ideas you love, and then you stop sing them, and then, yeah, for example, I used to watch Gary Vee a lot, right? I have 2 of his books here, and I have one more, and I watched him every day, and I watched his lectures, and I've probably watched more than 100 hours of Gary Vee stuff, and I've been in Tea with Gary Vee. I have a Gary Vee clip, like an interview with him or whatever, right? A short one. Like, does that mean that I'm a loser because I didn't do what Gary Vee says, or like whatever? I don't know. Like, because it didn't work, right? Because I did post stuff, but it didn't blow up. I don't know. I don't think so, right? I think that maybe there's still, like, I think that there are some core ideas that are interesting that drew me to it in the first place, and maybe their shiny stuff didn't exactly work for my whatever, but it can still work. Like, the core stuff is still true, and I still have learned it, right? And I had to learn it from someone, right? And I don't know, like, who you are, right? Or like, where do you live, or like, as in very concretely, like, where, like, who do you hang out with every day or whatever, right? But maybe if niche internet micro celebrity is saying something rational or whatever, and your friends are like, and your friends are not about that, right? Your friends are like seemingly fine, right? They are not like pondering these type of questions. Then it's like you need niche micro internet celebrity in your life, right? And it's good that niche micro internet celebrity exists, right? Even if it's during a short period of time where, I don't know, yeah. I don't know what the idea fails means, right? That's what I don't understand. Like, that part, I don't really think ideas fail, I guess, right? They are ideas, right? Like, if it's a startup, right? If you're like, okay, I started a company and the company failed, then okay, right? But then it's like, that company idea failed. That is true, right? But maybe it was too early, right? maybe someone who made like a ride-sharing app didn't work because it didn't have like some specific thing or something. Right? Yeah, I get what you mean, but still feels like if only I was a bit better, then I'd finally get things right. But you're not, lol. Then what? You can't replace your psyche. I don't know. Yeah. I think you can always get better at stuff, right? So if it's not getting better, what's stopping you, right? Then just get better. I don't know. I get you, right? This is because we are talking about like companies or something like this, right? This is kind of my background mindset. But if we talked about some other things, right? For example, getting a relationship, then I would be like more on your wave, probably. I would be like, okay, if I were better, I would have gotten it. Like the fact that I have not gotten it is what indicates that I am not better. That is the definition of it, right? Like that is the standard. If I was good enough, I would have it. Right? That is the thing. But I don't know. That is something I think about, I guess. Let me check Twitter notifications, by the way. YouTube. Shin-chan principio capítulo. I'm going to reply to a tweet.
Himawari sueña.
No. I want them to be short videos.
What?
Bro, what? Okay. I'm going to end it here because this article is long, so yeah. I will resume them tomorrow, I would guess. And yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for being here, Blitzer, aka Amix, and well, Hanio, especially at the beginning, and whoever else is here, Jason, Mask Code, CH. Thank you for having watched. Yo, I'm still here. Lol. Then thank you for being here all the time, because I think you're still here. You have been here all the time. Then, thank you for having been listening, and yeah. Reminder: I'm going to end these streams with reminders, right? I am going to make kind of a document of reminders, of like post-stream reminders, but mainly I can be followed on Twitter here at Coscorredit. This is where I am most active, I would say. You too. Have a great rest of the day. You too. Then my YouTube channel. This, I talked about the story of my life video here, so it's always watchable. Then I also talked about another video, I forgot which one, but I am going to recommend this early. The We Are So Early video, because in the We Are So Early video I talked about this abyss related thing that I talked about in the essay thing, and yeah, mostly that. This is for today. I will add like ways of subscribing to my channel is interesting as well, but I don't know. I don't like to ask first people to subscribe to my channel because I upload a lot of different shit, right? So maybe you don't like it, I guess, right? But if I do stream more or less at the time I'm streaming right now, so if you are here still watching, then it maybe makes sense to subscribe, right? And like press like the bell so that you get the notification that I am on streaming, even though you will get also the notifications of me watching, like uploading regular videos. But then I will add stuff like you can pay me money here, right? In case you are watching and you are rich, right? Because something that I said in the beginning in a tweet, right, was something like seek peers, right? So you have to seek peers, and this. Not you have to, but that I want to do, right? Twitter slightly encourages to write down, right? And I think I'm not talking down, right? I think I am simply talking, right? But that is what I want to do, right? Because I don't want to like explain stuff to people, right? I am reading advice here. That is kind of the thing. So, because I do want to like attract peers and mentors, maybe, like, well, mentors, I don't know, like if mentors stream, but I think peers do, like peers do watch stuff and not necessarily want to be talked down at, right? Simply like, I think this is kind of company, I would guess, right? Especially for example, Hanyu, who has had, I would guess, right? If you're watching like and listening kind of in the background, it's kind of this company stuff, right? It's more like peer than, I guess, a lecture from someone, right? Where someone is lecturing you. So in this context, I would say that there is like opportunity for me to get money sometimes, right? Not in donations style or whatever, or like subscriptions or whatever, maybe, but certainly not with like one person or whatever. But yeah, I think it's in the picture for these things to happen, right? I think that there can be these opportunities that come up, and I would want to make like a space for me to be able to take advantage of that, right? So it's kind of right now I'm just saying it, but I will have some kind of card or whatever that better says it, right? So make it maybe point to my website where I say like, okay, so here in my website you can hire me for these kind of jobs, or I can do these kind of things, and maybe also the like directly like links to send me like literal money or cryptocurrency or whatever, right? I will add those in the future. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream with that, because right now I have not built the thing, but it will be built in the future. Not sure when, but it will be. And bye. Maybe one of the streams will be actually building those things, right? And I will go through, right? While streaming, I will explain why these things kind of work or whatever. Or like, why do I think these things? Or why do I think I can do something? Or why do I think people randomly giving money to other people on the internet, right? It's even a concept, and why I am not ashamed of doing it, right? Because there are like a lot of questions that come up with that. And I will be going through that more in the future. I'm not sure if I will make specific streams for that or what will happen. I'm less sure about that, but I will figure that out. So yeah, bye. Have a great day, everyone.